In review, April 22nd, 2024. At Christine Young 78. I've done zone off and on since my level 1 in 2015. It's great. This is because last week we talked about someone commented saying they didn't know anybody who did the zone, and I actually said I knew hundreds of people. The truth is I probably know thousands of people. A lot of people have used it and have used it to great success. If you want to hear more about that, look back at last week's. At Tom Schwinn 6064, quarterfinals. Have been there, done that, and I do not have the t-shirt. Dave, I wrapped up my quarterfinals workouts yesterday and really enjoyed the test. Outstanding job by all involved. However, I ordered my quarters C on 4/7, 2+ weeks ago, as soon as I received the code and have yet to receive it. The tracking information provided does not contain a projected delivery date, and the link status simply states unknown. I've had friends that have had similar issues with their open t-shirt orders. CrossFit can do better than this. CrossFit is better than this. Keep the weekend reviews coming. I haven't even got my t-shirt yet, so I hear you. We definitely can do better than this. It's not like we're fulfilling the t-shirt orders, clearly. We have a third party who's assisting us with this, and we understand and we recognize what's happening, what happened through the open and what's happening now, and we are looking at ways to fix this and make this better so it doesn't happen again. At Extremist 1978, hey Dave, thank you for the time and effort you and HQ put into the quarterfinal workouts. They were actually fun, kinda. Question, sir, was there any specific reason we didn't see a 1-rep max or heavy complex this year for either the open or quarterfinals, or was it just cuz? Thank you for the time. It's never just cuz. There's a very deliberate reason you didn't see a 1-rep max in the open or the quarterfinals or a heavy complex. I'm getting my thing caught up. Come here, on Doug. So here's the deal. If we were to have a 1-rep max, say, clean and jerk in the open, and I won't say we didn't test strength. Don't say we didn't test strength specifically in the quarterfinals. If we would have had a 1-rep max clean and jerk in the open as one of the 3 workouts, or even added as a part B, it would really skew the results overall, because you'd have outliers. You have people who signed up and who have no work capacity or very low work capacity and are really strong and just put these huge numbers up and they are not overall fit. So in the open, it really clutters the data. Even at the quarterfinal level, you'll have a lot of people who are fit enough to advance to the quarterfinals but are really strength athletes and have really strong numbers, and that could knock out the cohort we're looking at have advanced to the semis, which are people who are well-rounded CrossFitters with a high level of work capacity across broad type and modal domains. So if we had just a pure strength element there, it skews with the data a little. What we tested in the quarterfinals was you had to be really fucking strong to do really well at that workout, well fatigued and at a high heart rate. So the type of strength we tested in the quarterfinals was was appropriate for the type of strength that we value. Now, once you have all these fit athletes, or let's say all these fit athletes, this 99% that are advancing to semis or the next stage and then eventually to the games, now testing 1-rep max amongst that really fit and consistently high level of performing CrossFitter, then it's more appropriate there. So I think where you put 1-rep max tests when doing something like the open, quarters, semis, and games is really important, and it shouldn't be earlier on. It should be later, because earlier on we're testing for overall fitness. If you want to test for strength, go sign up for a fucking powerlifting event, or go sign up for a weightlifting. Nothing against either of those, but I'm saying at the earlier stages, it's more about work capacity, more about being a good CrossFitter, being fit, than it is about strength. Although you need to be strong to do really well at the stuff in the open and obviously the stuff in the quarterfinals, specifically the last event in the quarterfinals. At XSlop, hey Dave, just want to say the team did a bang-up job with the programming quarterfinals. Also was wondering if you took time to watch Taylor versus the World. It has me more excited than ever for the game season. I hope it generates a buzz around quarterfinals or around HQ. Can't wait for semifinals. Yet the team did do a great job with the programming. I'm happy with it. I'll talk a little bit later about my poor experience with it, but the programming for quarterfinals was really good. So overall, very happy with it. I did not watch Taylor versus the World, but as I talked to Sevon, he told me about it, and it sounds like it was a huge success. It's pretty cool what those guys are doing, the way they'll take moments of what we are doing and then make their own little media moments from them and highlight athletes and highlight the sport. So he's killing it with that stuff. Sevon and his team with their outside of the box ideas to kind of covering or showing the world some of these things from a different perspective. So A+ for them on that shit because they're doing a great job with it. Can't wait. Yep, he said can't wait for semifinals already. Okay. At David Hellman 4177, love these videos. I recently quit my career of 18 years to pursue full-time work in CrossFit and athlete-specific sport training. I've never been more excited on taking this step into the unknown and more terrified about what it can do financially to me and my wife. One day at a time, the unknown and unknowable. Good luck. If you need any help in your journey, let me know. There's a great community here to support you, so communicate here or in any of the other places and forums where there's coaches and trainers speaking to help answer all your questions. At White Rabbit 09, you see CrossFitters that stay overweight for years because they can't stay off the refined processed starch carbohydrates. You can't out-train a shitty diet, Glassman. So you can't out-train, in quotations, a shitty diet. That quote goes to Greg. It's absolutely true. If you are, so at the base of our pyramid is nutrition, because we view nutrition as the most important piece in your fitness and health journey. And if you are struggling with your weight and you're doing constantly varied function movements executed at high intensity, you should probably take a look at what you're eating and how you're eating and what the macronutrient breakdown is of it, and specifically if it's really high in carbohydrate, specifically refined carbohydrate. If it is, you should look at reducing your carb intake. Every individual has a different tolerance for carbs, and it affects them differently. So some people are really sensitive to carbohydrate and put on weight easier because of that. So yes, you cannot out-train a shitty diet. And I think also with that, you hear me talk often about this, but some of the highest level athletes and some of their experiences and some of the way they talk about how they eat and what they promote, I don't think is really good for the average CrossFitter overall. A lot of those guys eat high levels of carbohydrate for their training because they can, and then they promote like Brooke eating donuts or the Buttery Bros and their pancakes. Not that they're high-level athletes, but the Buttery Bros and their pancakes, they're good people, but they're not high-level athletes. Brooke promoting donuts, Tia promoting however she eats, so-and-so promoting eating pizza, even Froning at his camps promoting how they eat cereal. And so all of that is fine for them for various different reasons. The amount they train, how, again, carbohydrate affects them. But I think sometimes the average CrossFitter or the person maybe struggling with weight sees that and they think it's okay for them to eat the same way, where it possibly not. And again, every specific example, every specific individual is going to be a little different and require different approaches. But generally speaking, if you're struggling losing weight and you're CrossFitting, we should definitely take a look at your diet, and we should specifically probably take a look at your refined carbohydrate consumption. And that's why the zone is an important mechanism, because you can really specifically see how much you're eating, and tracking macros, same concept, different way of doing it. But taking a look at that stuff is important for meeting your health and fitness and weight goals. At Jenny Vaccaro 7097, received my keychain, such quick shipping and love the packaging. Next, I need a belt. Thank you. Okay, so I must have been last week or so because I haven't made the keychains in a while, or a couple weeks ago. I put some keychains on tdcmercantile.com. I enjoy making this stuff. I spend a little time, half an hour here every couple days. It's pretty fun. I obviously like being creative with the programming stuff and through making stuff with the leather work. So it's kind of a little creative outlet that gets me away from this space and thinking about other things. Actually, I think there might still be a belt on the store right now. So Jenny, if you want to get a belt, go check out tdcmercantile.com. At Nickel Plate Fitness, has HQ considered age groups and teen comps to be openers for individual comps? I don't know what you mean, but do you mean like having, I mean, I guess it's kind of like how the games have been for years. We had the age groups and teens compete before the individuals. Is that what you're saying at the games? But now we've pulled them out to be opener for individual, or do you mean other individual comps? Regardless, they're their own thing now, and this is gonna be the first year we do this model, and it's gonna be a huge success, and we're gonna be really happy with with the direction that we took it. At David Gora, why is there no longer promotion of the garage gyms? When looking back at old journal articles, I was encouraged. If HQ wants to see increase in numbers, shouldn't that be put back in focus? I wouldn't, why is there no longer promotion of the garage gyms? I wouldn't say that we are, hold on, getting caught up again. Sorry. Why is there no longer promotion of the garage gyms? There's a limited amount of promotion for a lot of the things that we do, and a little an amount of focus that we need to put in. This is very common knowledge. We don't have a massive media team currently, and so with the resources we're working on and all the things we do have to promote, the affiliate stuff, the cap stuff, the games, clearly the training, they're in that kind of environment. Yes. Are we doing videos on the garage gym experience currently? No. Have we probably in the last year or two? I would imagine yes, in telling the stories of various individuals. I don't know if we have or have not. So someone's going to write a video and saying we have not. But my point being, it's not like there's this conscious directive. Don't promote garage gyms or don't talk about garage gyms. Garage gyms and garage athletes are a massive part of CrossFit, regardless of making a video about them or doing promotion around them or not. And I mean, hey, look at how I train. I train out of a garage gym. Look how a large number of people. And I don't think we are consciously trying to avoid them or not talk about them. There's really two paths to pursue CrossFit. You do it at home, or you go to your local gym and you follow other programming, or you go into an affiliate. We really do promote. We'd like to see people go into affiliates to make them successful, but that doesn't mean because we're promoting people to go to affiliates to help make that community thrive and to help make the individual's journey more guided and with coaching. It doesn't mean we're discouraging people who just want to start on their own and do it in their garage or even at another gym. I think that's lame, personally, just because, clearly I work for CrossFit. If you're going to do it in a gym, I think you should go to an affiliate. But if you're going to do it at home, I'm not going to ever discourage anyone from that. And I don't think we would we would or are talking about or doing that deliberately as a company or as HQ. And you know what? I'll say this: when looking back at old journal articles, I was encouraged. When? A very long time ago. Even in the this same criticism could be said of the last several years, last decade, last 15 years of CrossFit. I don't know how many. There was a phase prior to the sale where for several months, maybe even years, we were just promoting deadlifting with milk jugs. And then before that, there was we were putting a lot of focus on training and the seminars that we do. And then always there's been a lot on the games. So looking back at old journal articles, I was encouraged. Sure, even then probably we kind of left that. And again, it's not like it was trying to not or to discourage people from training in your garage gyms, because we think that's an important part of CrossFit, an important way to CrossFit. At 77 Do Rock, when are we doing a true affiliate cup? No more super teams. The overwhelming majority of teams at the games this past year and that will be at the games this year will be affiliate teams. They are people who train at an affiliate together and affiliate teams. Now, are there a handful of teams that have athletes who have relocated or are meeting the bare minimum of our rule to be considered on a team and creating what's called a super team? Yes, and not always do they win or perform at the highest level. Sometimes, they're mid-pack in the leaderboard at the game. Not mid-pack, but mid-top 10. So I don't think it's as big of a problem currently as people are saying. But we will continue to look at that, the rules around it, and how it stays a true affiliate cup. At Davy 1756, as someone who's been a spectator at semifinal in 2 games, it is tough to fit in watching events, getting decent food between events. Agree with Dave's point. While we tried watching age groups, it was a real rush, particularly as the on-site food had massive energy cues and there was minimal food for vegetarians. So no complaints about having less competitors, and hopefully those age groups can have the experience of competing in front of fuller crowds. I think that will be the case. My query is whether you'll be encouraging Brent in his role as head of players union, as they have concerns with how much hot weather training players need to do in advance of the games, given the uncertainty of how many long, intensive outdoor events will be at the games. I know the point about the event is preparing for the unknown, but I don't think anyone wants to see athletes suffering from heat stroke. Do you think we want to see athletes suffering from heat stroke? No, I mean, I seriously, like, some of these things, when people talk about safety and these heat concerns, you say it as if like we're over here being event organizers and the keepers of this sport, the people who created the sport and run the sport, who like totally don't give a fuck about safety. Like, it's a ridiculous notion at times, and almost insulting too. Long before there was call it this, as you said, a players union in the sport, long before there was any high-level athletes, we were doing the CrossFit Games in this fucking shed, and we were talking about and having arguments about safety and what we would do to keep the athletes safe, and if something happened, and how we would run the event. Safety is a primary fucking concern for us. The last thing we want to do is hurt our athletes on the floor for their sake or for the sake of the perception of CrossFit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do injuries happen? Do things happen at the games? Absolutely. You have people pushing at the extreme limits of physical capabilities on events. You know, you have people breaking their arms. You have people having heat accidents at the games through some of the events we've done in the past, through like Murph. And even in those cases, we've had a couple out of like 80, and even because we had teams do it, out of hundreds. Did we want that to be the case? No. Does it happen? Yes. So my point about Texas and the heat. Oh shit, we didn't think about that. No, of course we fucking thought about that. And of course we're going to do everything we possibly can to make sure the athletes are safe. Are we going to give them prescriptive at this point, or you are going to have 5 events outdoors and here's the length and here's what you're dealing with? No, because we shouldn't. That players union you're talking about, they are in constant communication with us. We talk to them a lot. I heard they took some of our communications and put it forward. I'm not sure. They might have told our team they're going to do that or not. I'm not a huge fan of operating that way, but whatever. Maybe they did tell us and we approved it. My point is we have communicated with them. I don't think they like the answer. That's fine. But we're not going to tell them how many workouts are going to be outside. And here's the deal. Even in Madison, and the same will happen here, athletes showed up a week. Some showed up the month before and acclimated to the environment they were competing in. Should you probably show up to early to the games if you qualify for the games to acclimate? Yes, but not for the reason of competing 50 minutes or an hour at 110 degree temperature at 3 p.m., which probably we will not put you in that scenario. And what I mean by that is you're going to be in and out all day long in an environment that's really fucking hot, and getting there on a Wednesday or a Tuesday before the games, and then having to deal with competing and then going outside and going to your hotel or going to get food in this really hot environment that you're not used to, that's not going to help your performance or your mind state or your mental state. So actually, and I'm not going to tell anybody how to acclimate or when they should get there, but yeah, you should probably get to the games early and acclimate to just the surrounding environment for you as an individual, even if you are going to do a majority of your competition inside. And we've said that over and over. We've said a majority of the competition will be indoors because of the we have a single indoor venue. And so even if you were to take a look at, like, you could go here with the games and someone could do this exercise. How many events were on the soccer stadium, or I'm sorry, not the soccer stadium, the outdoor field, the North Park field, and in the Coliseum? Because those were the two arenas we bounced back and forth from. And then how many were outside of that? And why I say that is because what we are saying very publicly, there is one arena now. There is one main venue. You could probably assume that the amount we did on North Park and the Coliseum are the amount we're going to do in this new venue. So so your last sentence. I know the point is about preparing for the unknowable, but I don't think anyone wants to see athletes suffering from heat stroke. At Steven, first time in quarterfinals, and my only goal is to beat Dave. Well, you probably definitely beat me. I got my ass handed to me. This was a really good reminder of how many gaps I have in my personal training. I CrossFit year round. I only do CrossFit. I do not CrossFit to tackle my weaknesses, or I don't. I program things that I'm going to, I don't even want to say I program for my strengths. I don't have a lot of strengths. But I program to stay moving and to stay healthy and to stay fit. And I have like a long-term, I do a lot of outdoor stuff. So skewing towards endurance and skewing towards that type of training and just staying strong enough is how I've trained for the last few years. I really don't train for strength. I don't prioritize strength much, or again, my weaknesses. So what that led to is the first two workouts, I did okay. I was happy with my performance. Not okay on the leaderboard, but just okay relative to who I am. And then the second two, they just crushed me. I really am poor at a handstand push-ups, and that workout did not go well for me at all. And then the strength, the clean and jerk element, the clean and jerk event, I was happy just to get a few reps at 185 because even that was really heavy for me. But I will say this about quarterfinals and all of this. I am really motivated to train and prepare for next year's Open and quarterfinals, or however it looks in the future, to really give this a go. Because I didn't train hard or really take this seriously leading up even into the Open until once I started the Open and saw, oh, I can qualify for quarterfinals. Then I got really motivated. This time I'm going to get really motivated in late November, early December, and start training for the Open. And hey, knowing the workouts doesn't fucking matter. That's not going to change my capacity or ability. And this notion that that I make the workouts to cater to me. No one's really saying that, but I will say that. The last two are clear indications that I don't do that. All right. Semifinals are coming up in about a month or so. Make sure you get tickets if you're in North America to the two events. We got one in West Coast and one on the East Coast. And then overseas, there's a handful of events. So definitely check out semifinals. And thanks for listening.